Welcome to the Recovery Room, a space where we pause, we breathe, and we unpack real-life stories behind healing, growth, and reflection. So whether you're going through a heartbreak, whether you are dealing with a mistake, or just in a heavy season, this is the place for you to be. Step in and receive your recovery. My name is Krukwa Chumba, and today I am here with my brother, Pastor Dan.
Yes.
A trauma healing facilitator, and we'll be talking about forgiveness. We'll be delving into the issue of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a very difficult thing to deal with, and today we'll be going into details on the topic of forgiveness. I would like to share a story.
All right.
A story that I heard some months back. So a husband told his wife a very bitter truth, that he had a child out of the marriage, of course, by being unfaithful. The wife, had to deal with it, find a way to go about it. Pastors came in, church elders came in, family came in, asking her to forgive the husband and move on. Because of all the voices in her head, she said, okay, she has forgiven him. She convinced herself that she had forgiven the husband, accepted the child into their home. They lived for some time, and then later, sometime, her husband was calling their older child and mistakenly mentioned the other child's name. And from nowhere, she just fled up, was so angry, started talking and going back, revisiting the whole thing, how he was so unfaithful and all that. In her quietness in the room, that was when she realized that she actually hadn't forgiven the husband. She thought she had, but she hadn't forgiven him. She had to go to God and ask God to forgive her, help her to forgive, and all that. So later, she had a very honest conversation with her husband, made him understand how she really felt about what he did. The husband genuinely apologized. And now she felt that, okay, she has actually forgiven him. So, Pastor Dan,
Yes.
Based on this story, what is forgiveness and what is not forgiveness?
All right. Thank you so much, Kukwa. So I would begin from what is not forgiveness to end with what is forgiveness.
All right.
So from the story that you shared with us, we could see that the woman first time realized that, okay, I've forgiven. But there was a trigger, there was an incident that made her understand the fact that, no, not knowing, I've never forgiven my husband. Forgiveness is not pretending as if nothing has happened. It's not pretending as if, okay, he or she didn't do anything so serious about the case that we are talking about. Forgiveness is not about letting the perpetrator go scot-free. He has done the thing, but okay, because of Christianity, because of family thing, you are not talking about it, and you think, okay, let the person go. So when the husband told the wife that I have done this, and the wife said, oh, nothing, no problem. Yes, it's after all, it's a child, so no problem. If the woman had done that earlier on, that wasn't forgiveness. Because she's pretending as if nothing has happened. Forgiveness is not letting, for instance, if it's about legality, you handling or covering whatever law would take its course. Forgiveness is allowing whatever should happen to the one who has, the culprit, the perpetrator, that thing should happen to. So in that brief, the earlier thing the woman said was not forgiveness. Because probably she listened to the words, other voices. Okay, then let me forgive because they have come in. And this happens in a church setting or in a family setting whereby the elderlies would tell you, greet, shake the person, hug yourself to let us know that, okay, indeed you are forgiven. But in our minds, is hugging or shaking hands the reality of forgiveness? No. But when we move from what is not forgiveness to what is forgiveness, forgiveness is not forgiving and forgetting. It is not forgiving and forgetting.
So you can forgive, but you will not forget the situation.
No. There's no way you will forget about what somebody have done for you. But then Forgiveness is letting go of the hurt or the pains that somebody has inflicted in your life. That is the most difficult thing to do.
So it means that forgiveness is a process.
Exactly.
It doesn't happen instant. It's not an immediate thing. It takes time.
No, it takes time to forgive. Okay. Just as a physical wound takes time to heal, that's how forgiveness is. So if I'm using physical wounds as an example here, you hurt yourself, you injured yourself, there's a cut, there's a deep cut. You will try to stop the bleed. You use everything to do. Basically, those of us coming from a typical local home, father would put hot water to try to kettle the issue, but those of us who lived in the estate or water will be taken to the hospital, and the nurses will take their time to use the gauze bandage. Is sweet to heal that wound. Whatever it takes time to heal. But after the healing, there's a scar.
Yeah.
The scar reminds us of what really happened. That's the purpose of the scar. So how can I forget such an incident if there's no scar? So I can forgive Kuku of doing what you have done. The woman can forgive the husband. But whenever she sees the child, it reflects. But then it will be reflecting till the woman would have nothing to do with the reflection again. That is when the wound is healed. So you see, when the man mistakenly called their child's name to the other person, you see how it blooms. It means that there are some bits and pieces of non-forgiving element in the woman's life. She sees the child or she hears the name of the child. I'm too sure that in her isolation, she'll be bitter. She'll be thinking about a lot of things about this child. After all, the child should even sick and die or something. There are a lot of things will happen. The man has cheated on her and all those things. But the reality happened when the woman, after flaring up, realized that no, I have never forgiven my husband. Then, all right, is a child. Honey, I'm sorry for not readily accepting the fact that what you did was wrong. And the man also coming in genuinely, even telling the wife about the issue, and genuinely apologizing to the wife. Though I'm sure it took a lot of time for the man to come out to tell the wife about what has happened. It's not a joke. But whatever be the case, he did apologize. And the latter part, the woman also accepted. Though the child is still alive, the woman would need to treat the child like her own. That would be the result.
A test to see whether she has actually. Okay, so when you were talking, you said something about triggers. So when you have not forgiven somebody and you have a trigger and you react, that is an indicator for you that the issue is still pending.
Exactly.
So when you realize that I thought I had forgiven this person, but apparently I haven't, what next step do you take? What do you do?
All right. So let me dwell briefly on the trigger. So if the woman had forgiven the husband and the child's name popped up, she would never really leave that experience as if it is fresh.
Yeah.
Would she avoid that boy's name or that child's name forever in her life? It means she has never forgiven. Or there are triggers, there are aspects of things that is running through the woman's life that means that she has never forgiven.
Yeah.
Or she's always alert to see whether the husband will come again to tell her another story that he had another child elsewhere. All these things, when you realize that you are forgiven and these things flashes through your life, it means that genuinely you haven't forgiven. You are just saying it to people to know that, okay, I have forgiven for people to, but deep down your heart and when you are alone, if these thoughts comes in mind, it means that what you are saying or what you are talking about forgiveness, you have never done it. It's just camouflage, letting people know that, okay, you're a church leader, you are a Christian, so you are forgiven. So that is the triggers. So you ask that, what happens afterwards when you realize that? Realizing that when I hear the person who had offended me's name, I get mad, I get annoyed. It is high time I need to accept it. It's high time I need to know that, okay, it really has happened. Other than that, forgiveness will never take effect. If I have injured myself and I'm hiding it away from people that have injured myself, then it means that I have never really accepted the fact that I've injured myself. So when I realize that this triggers brings memory of the thing and is so fresh in mind, it is so serene, then I think that I need to accept what has really happened so that I can give way for healing to take place.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to our cultural setting. What are some of the common things that people would say is forgiveness?
Oh, when you are faced with consequences about what has happened, or when it has happened to you, what I did to somebody had happened to me, then it means that okay, and he has been forgiven, or their channel, or you need to go and appease some gods, or speak the truth in front of people, or swear or take an oath that okay, if I say this and nothing happened, it means I have forgiven, really forgiven, or I have accepted the forgiveness. So in our cultural setting, it is speaking crying, it is quick action. Let us know if you said you haven't forgiven, then take this, drink it, or say something about it, and let's see whether genuinely you are forgiven. People are pushed to forgive in a cultural setting because at the end of the day, they fear that if they bring all those things in mind, it may die them. So then let me quickly say I'm forgiven.
Yeah.
But are you in a mind?
Yeah.
Somebody will forgive, but as we speak now, it has been generational unforgiveness, and the family will never enter this family before. Because yes, I've accepted the fact that I've forgiven you, Kukwa, but I'll tell my children, this family no go area.
Yeah.
And it has been running through down ages. And as we speak now, there are families who doesn't want to have anything to do with this family because of what our forefathers did. And it's bad. But when genuinely we allow yourself to go through the process of forgiveness, I'm sure you come back to that. When you genuinely allow yourself to go through the process of forgiveness, the wound will heal. And when wound heals, you see scar. Scar doesn't hurt you again. It doesn't pain you again. It just reminds you. So when I see Kukua who had offended me so much, and I have said that I've forgiven, I can shake hands with her and smile with her and pass. It means that I have genuinely forgiven. So forgiveness, as you said in your intro, is difficult.
It is.
It is very difficult.
It is difficult.
Most difficult thing in our life. Seriously. Very serious.
All right. Thank you very much for taking us through what forgiveness is and what forgiveness is not. We would wrap up today's episode, and in our next episode, we would move on to discuss how can you forgive others.
Oh, that's good.
Now we've learned that you may pretend that you have forgiven, but in actual fact, you have not. So when you realize that you have not, how do you forgive somebody? So we'll talk about that in our next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, viewers, for watching us. Share your comments or your views on what you also think forgiveness is and what forgiveness is not. Let's have a discussion, and hopefully we would all get the healing that we deserve by forgiving people who have offended us. Thank you. And my name again is Kukwa Chumba, and I was here with Pastor Daniel.